Look at that baby. Daddy's little renter. That's not a meme.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's your kid's future bleeding out in a basement apartment at age 40. Still paying rent to a landlord one bad quarter away from foreclosure.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
Hey, there's a bubble.
You think I'm joking? You think this is content? No. This is a funeral speech for the Canadian dream. White picket fence, dead. Backyard barbecue, dead. Boat in the driveway buried 6 feet under. And what did we get instead? A shoebox condo with paper-thin walls, a mortgage payment bigger than your paycheck, and a lifetime subscription to debt slavery. Here's the part that should knock the wind out of you. The Bank of Canada already knows this. They built the trap and they pray you never see the chart that I'm about to show you. Because once you see it, you'll realize your family's entire future has already been sold. If you miss it, you don't just lose your home, you lose decades, you lose your kids, you lose everything.
Mrs. Gilmore owes the IRS $270,000 in back taxes. We have to take that.
Stick around, because what's coming next will hit harder than any rent increase, any tax bill, and any broken promise you've ever lived through. Bank sales are exploding. 780 active in August. 2 years ago, 110. That's a 600% increase.
I'm kind of in a financial crisis and I'm not really sure what to do. My house is in the process of being foreclosed on.
Oh my.
Families are being evicted like it's a national sport, and politicians keep saying everything's fine. It's not fine. And this isn't about houses. This is about your freedom. Here is the forbidden truth. You don't own your home. You don't own your car. You don't even own your phone. You're leasing your entire life. You're a permanent subscriber to a country that turns citizenship into a payment plan. And when the banks collapse, you're the one left holding the bill. Mortgage arrears tick back up in July, and that's just the start. August and September will spike like a heart attack on a monitor. I told you this was coming, and if you're still watching right now, you're one of the few who can handle the truth. Most people can't.
What the truth? You can't handle the truth.
For the first time in Canadian history, there are more leases than sales. More people renting than buying. 10 years ago, it was 4 buyers to every renter. Now, renting is king. The government cheers, developers cash out, your kids get drafted into a nation of renters without a vote. Don't fall for the lie. Prices aren't bouncing back. Sales volume is down almost 50% from the peak, lowest in decades. This isn't a blip, it's a free fall. And real estate boards still spin it. July was a great month. Great for who? Not you. Average detached in GTA is 1.235 million, the lowest in years. Still totally unaffordable. You'll need 9 lives to pay that off. This isn't a market, it's a mugging. And the robber is wearing a Canadian flag as a mask. Here's the proof. Sales down, prices cracking, every stat screams collapse, and yet every realtor and mortgage broker in the world pegs this as the start of the next bull market. You better get in.
How many loans do you write each month?
About 60.
What was it 4 years ago?
10, maybe 15.
Damn, I was a bartender. No, I own a boat.
So how many of these are adjustable rate mortgages?
Well, most.
But it goes darker. The Toronto Star says July was the worst new home sale month in 40 years. 4 decades. Record immigration, record population, lowest new home sales. How do you explain that? You don't. Collapse disguised as policy. Power of sale listings exploding. Families losing their homes faster than the media can keep up. And the elites laugh. Remember when influencers flexed their Lambos off flipping homes? Now the flex is different. Look at that family. Sold and lost 400 grand. Cheering homeowner losses has become a sport. Here's the truth. They were never supposed to get rich that fast. Now the pendulum swings back. And it's not just speculators getting crushed, it's regular families. Meanwhile, public administration jobs rise. Government payrolls balloon, every other industry shrinking. Retail, trades, real estate. The only jobs growing? Bureaucrats. The system doesn't build opportunity, it builds dependency. Another forbidden truth. First-time buyers are now almost 40 years old. In the 60s, 58% of Canadians were married and owned a home by 30. Today, barely 32. By 2030, it will be under 20. The social contract is shredded. You can't build families without a future. That's why fertility rates are collapsing.
No, I'm not gay. No, I've borked a lot of women in my day.
Shelter and family stripped away. Housing has been weaponized. The government applauds. Dependence means control. Youth unemployment just hit 14.6% in July. That's recession territory. But the elites say we're not in a recession. They just keep moving the goalposts. Meanwhile, your kids can't get jobs, can't buy homes, can't start families. What future is that? Here's the next truth. Banks and brokers tempt you to increase your mortgage, dangle renovations or a pool as bait.
I focus on the immigrants, you know? Once they find out they're getting a home, they sign where you tell them to sign. Don't ask questions, don't understand the rates.
Free country, right? Wrong. It's a debt plantation, and you're the crop. The mortgage industry is a cartel. They don't care about your kitchen or basement suite. They care about keeping you chained, paying interest until you're buried in the ground. Even when rates drop, it's just another tip. Canada has built a system where ownership is a fairy tale. The dream is gone. Even when you think you own, you're just renting from the bank. Keep ignoring this and give it 20 years and Canada will be a full-blown renter nation. Now stay with me, because what I reveal at the end of this video will show you how deep this goes. Miss it and your family's future is gone for decades. Listen, some of you think I'm outrageous, but homeowners across the greater Golden Horseshoe are getting blindsided right now. That's why I built a free seller's guide. Click the link below and grab it. And if you want straight answers about your place, book a call. No pressure. So you were promised ownership. What you got was bondage. Canada turned housing into a casino, and you weren't the house, you were the sucker. They said housing only goes up. It didn't. It broke. And now this system is bleeding out. Detroit thought it was invincible too. Jobs forever, factories forever, homes forever. Then 2008 hit like a sledgehammer. Whole blocks abandoned. Houses stripped like copper. Families fled in the night. Detroit didn't come back. Canada is Detroit. Factories gone, steel gutted, jobs replaced with condos, and those condos worth less every single month. People bought at $600,000, renovated for $100,000, now can't even sell at $550. People bought at 1.1, now worth $775. Closings collapsing, assignments dumping, owners drowning. This isn't a market. It's a slaughterhouse, and your kids are the cattle. Meanwhile, real estate boards say fundamentals are strong. Strong for who? Not you or I. Not for the family staring at foreclosure. The only thing strong is denial. The same denial that said Detroit could never fail. Canada isn't an economy. It's a real estate hedge fund with a flag. No innovation, no productivity, no growth, just houses trading hands like poker chips. And now the chips are gone. The table's empty. The casino lights are flickering. This is what happens when you build a nation on speculation. It ends in desperation. Ownership peaked at 68%, sliding to 66%. By 2030, half the country renting, half the country permanently locked out. And don't say it can't happen, because it already is. More leases than sales this year, first time in history. That's the signal. That's the point of no return, because renters don't fight back. Renters don't build roots. Renters don't pass wealth to kids. Renters obey. And that's exactly what Canada's elite wants. A population too broke to resist, too transient to organize, busy hustling for rent to ever challenge the throne. Every month you hand over your life in payments. To banks, to landlords, to telecoms, to car leases, you don't own anything. You're a tenant in your own existence. And the elites laugh. They package your mortgage into bonds. They collect fees whether you pay or not. And when it all comes crumbling to the ground, they get bailed out and you get thrown out like a piece of trash. That's not capitalism. Kings and serfs, masters and tenants. And here's another truth. The government isn't building homes for you. They're building rentals. State-sponsored rentals, massive towers, permanent dependents. They don't want you independent. They want you plugged in every month, forever. And when you beg for relief, they hand you subsidies, scraps from the table. Enough to keep you quiet, not enough to make you free. Sound familiar? It's the same playbook as Rome. Bread and circuses while the empire burns. And what about crime? Home invasions exploding, illegal guns everywhere, fathers murdered in front of their kids while they sleep at night. That is what collapse looks like. And that is what happens when a society dies. Meanwhile, in Ottawa, grow bureaucracy, hire more public servants, print more money, ignore the fire while youth employment hits 15%, the highest since the Great Recession. Your kids can't find jobs, can't buy homes, can't start families. That's not bad luck. That's design. Because when people can't own, they stop caring. They stop building, they stop believing. The Canadian dream died, and the renter nation takes its place. This is the real civil war. Owners versus renters, boomers versus millennials, banks versus families. And right now, The families are losing. But here's the stake, the one chart that proves it all. They tell you it's just a tiny dip from 69% homeownership to 66%. But here's the truth they won't say. That 3%, not a rounding error. It's 500,000 Canadian families who went from owners to tenants. 500,000 homes stripped out of the middle class. 500,000 futures erased. And if that chart keeps sliding by 2030, that won't be 500,000. It will be millions. And you and your loved ones are next. Half the country renting, half the country permanently trapped out of the housing market. And once that line is crossed, the game is over. No coming back. Renters don't build nations. Renters don't hold power. Renters don't pass legacies. Renters don't fight. That's why the elites want it. They want a renter nation because it's easier to rule. No property, no freedom, no future. And if you think I'm wrong, look at every city or nation that collapsed under debt and decay. Canada isn't far behind. This is the truth no one will say. Canada is addicted to housing. And now the high is gone. What's left is crash. And when the crash is over, you won't be an owner. You'll be a tenant for life in your own country, unless you wake up now, unless you move now, unless you fight now. If you're still here, you're not average. You're one of the only people strong enough to hear this. Everyone else already clicked off. You stayed. That means you're ready for the truth. And the truth is this. The dream is dead. The nation is for rent. Now, if I wasn't a little crazy, you wouldn't still be here watching. And if you're still here, you already know this market is brutal. That's why I built a free seller's guide. Click the link below and grab it. And when you want straight answers about your place, book a quick call with me. No pressure, just the truth.